See if this worked. Ooh. Second. Can't really see at all what's going on. Sorry everyone, I am attempting to stream on Instagram, and I couldn't see anything. Well, I could have just super zoomed in. So it's just testing this out. Alright, let's see. What does it look like? Live archive. Yeah, you can't really tell what's going on. Oh, maybe you can see this part. No. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. That's okay. Alright, anywho, let's get started. Oh, well. Get me out of this. There we go. Alright, so let's go into JavaScript Test Lab. Just open all my stuff up right now. TwilioQuest. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, how do I exit out of this? Close. I always hit magnifier and it really screws with me. Okay. Get this open. Alright. Let's start it off. Okay. Like I said, let me get a light over here so you guys can see me. Too bright. There we go. We are in our 10th episode of TwilioQuest. JavaScript Test Lab. Let's see, where is it at? So we're in the JavaScript Test Lab. And we're almost done, I think, right? So last time, did we finish this off last time? No, we did something up top, I remember, I thought. My mouse is bugging me. Didn't we go up here and do something? No, we didn't go up here and do anything. Maybe that's what we need to do now. Yeah, because we got all of these unlocked. So now with this one, I think we need to go up top. Yeah. Yep, for sure need to go up top. Okay. Does this go anywhere? Hello. Oh yeah, this physicist was trapped. Hello, can you still hear me? If you need to restore my if you can restore my physical form, I'll gladly provide that activation code you need. Losing your corporeal form sounds unpleasant. How can I help? There are control terminals down the hallways to the east and west of this chamber. Yes, they must have been damaged during the explosion. If you can get those terminals back online, the matter instantiator should reassemble my physical body. Interesting. The same transformation as the rest of my body. If you can restore my physical form, the activation code is all yours. Alright, let's do it. Which one should we go first? I am right-handed, so I'm going to go right. You've used built-in objects like strings and numbers. Now learn to create your own new objects with their own behavior. Okay. The north wing of the lab contains a strange device in the center of the room, the purpose of which was not immediately obvious when you entered. Inspecting the console in front of you deduced that this is a control panel for a matter instantiator. That must be the large chamber in the center of the room. The console, however, is filled with error logs, indicating that it was damaged during the lab explosion. If you can get this console and another just like it back online, the chamber in the middle of the lab should be functional again. Okay. In order to fix this component of the matter instantiator, you must override it as a piece of JavaScript code that might be a typo right there. A piece of JavaScript code that provides a configuration object used in the transformation process. Create a file called classes.js. Okay, classes.js. Inside that file, create a class called materializer. Create a class. Okay. It should have a property called target that is set equal to the first argument of the constructor. Interesting. I've never used a class method in JavaScript. So this will be new for me. Okay. So we're going to create a class called materializer. We should have a property called target. That is set equal to the first argument of the constructor and an activated property that defaults to false. An instance function called activated that sets activated to true. And an instance function called materializer returns the value of an instance target property if the activated property is set to true, otherwise it returns undefined if nothing is returned. When you have created a materialized class which meets the criteria above, click hack to validate your work. Okay. So the goal of this exercise is to familiar yourself with JavaScript classes. Classes are new kinds of objects that you can create in your own code. Nice. So it's going to be an object. Most of your work in the JavaScript lab is used built-in objects and primitive data types like numbers, strings, and booleans. Classes represent more complex data concepts specific to your code, like users, blog posts, likes, or subscriptions, for example. Unlike object literals, classes can also have behaviors that operate on their data. In this exercise, you need to create a class based on the specific specification in the objective. Alright, so let's create the file. So we're in the TwilioQuest, new file, called classes.js. First classes that I've ever created. Alright, so did they give us some starter stuff? Yeah, so this is the class, constructor name, and we have our little tests right here. So let's see how this helps us. Alright, so we have our materializer class, constructor, and then the following lines of code are not required for the solution but can be used to test your solution. M activated, m.activate, m activated should print true, console log m materialize. Okay. So our code goes here and here. So go back in here and look at the objective again. So we're going to create a file called classes, did that. We're going to create a class called materializer, that's done. It should have a property called target. So I think, do we just property called target that is set equal to the first argument of that constructor. So we have our constructor here. So we just do this dot target equals target name. Is that what this is doing? Just do target equals target name. Property called target. Interesting. Let's look at what the link says. Oh, no, in that window. This is interesting. Let's add. Oh, sorry, you read my email the whole time. Whoops. Okay. I think this is right. I don't know if it goes over the target name. I don't think it would. Or maybe it would. Not quite sure. Let's keep on going though. an activated property that defaults to false. So activated, which is false. What else do we need? An instance function called activate that sets activated to true. Okay. So we'll have an instance function. Does it say what to name it? Called activate, right? This is a function called activate. So activate. It's gonna be a function, and this is gonna set activated to true. Okay. Still don't know if I'm doing this quite right. An instance function called materialize that returns the value of an instance's target property if the activated property is set to true, otherwise it returns undefined. Whew, that's a mouthful. Okay. So we're gonna have also have a, let's get a space between there. Materialize function that is going to do what now? It is going to returns the value of instance's target property if activated. So if activated, we're going to return, return target. Just dot target. Wouldn't it just be target? Maybe. All right. So if activated is true, then return the target, which is the target name. I believe. An instance function called materialize that returns the value of an instance's target property if activated. Property says true, the returns undefined. Okay. So what happens if I run this? I feel like I have to put something in the constructor. So we'll run const m equals new materializer, which is Kevin. And then we're going to console log m activated. Should be false. I think this needs to go above everything. Whoa, what did I just do? I didn't copy it. There we go. Alright. Whoops. Please prettify that for me. Okay. So the let's see what happens when we run this. Whoops. CD TwilioQuest, and then we're gonna run node classes JS. Actually, we should probably save this first. There we go. Alright, what do we get? Target name. Can't find it. Reference area target name is not defined. We have a value for it. Constructor target name. Did we put target in target name? Whoops. Maybe we do it in there. And then that's defined. Let's see what happens. Now. Target is not defined. Well, shoot. It is a property though. Is it a property or is it, yeah, a property called target that is set to equal to the first argument of the constructor. First argument of the constructor. Yeah. Why isn't this defined? Constructor. Maybe I have to do this dot target name. I'm not sure. Oh, well, we got something. Got through that, and then we got, whoops. It's so hard to scroll on here. So big. Okay, so we got false, and we need activated is not defined. Do we need to do this dot activate? No, so activated is false. Activated true. This dot activated? Maybe? Let's see how far we get. If activated is not defined. Okay, so if we're getting farther, we're just adding this to everything. See what happens. Hey, that worked. Nice. Right? Should print false, should print true, should print Kevin. We get false, true, Kevin. False, true, Kevin. Yeah. So what I missed was I wasn't putting this in front of it, so it was not defined. I've always had a little bit of trouble with this. This method or keyword or whatever it is in JavaScript. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me. Yeah, I always had trouble with this. classes, but like this. But that makes sense. I'm just confusing myself. Anyways, let's hack this away and see what happens. Success. Nice. So let's go over it real quick, because I'm sure that was pretty confusing for people watching. So this is a class in JavaScript called Materializer. We have a constructor here with the target name that pulls in Kevin. And when we define this dot target equals target name in the constructor, and then we go through this. So we have activated equal, and we set activated to false. That's a property. And then we run a helper function called activate, and we set the activated property to true. And then we run this materialize helper function. It says if activated is true, return the name of return the target name. So the test should be, first you'll console log activated, it should be false. Then you'll console log, or then you'll run the helper function activate, which is this, and it changes it to true. And then you'll run the console log and of activated again, which is true because it just got changed, and then you run the materialize function, the materialize helper function, which says, oh, this is true, here is the target name. That's how we do it. Let's go to the next one. See how far we can go. That one only took like 15 minutes, probably more. It's okay. Working through this together. Learn to create more complex data structures using object literal notation. Ooh. Okay, the north wing of the lab contains, yep, so we read that the first time, it's the matter instantiator. Makes people like dissolve. Console's filled with errors, so we have to fix it. Okay, so the matter instantiator is capable of creating new objects from thin air. The JavaScript function you'll need to fix in this object is responsible for manufacturing objects also using object literal notation. Create a file called construction.js. In your code folder, inside that file, create a function called construct that returns an object literal with the following properties. You see nodes. Okay, let's see what the help shows us. The goal of this exercise is to familiar yourself with object literals. Okay. Most of your work in the JavaScript lab has used built-in objects and primitive data types like numbers, strings, booleans, stuff like that. Sometimes your code needs to be able to represent more complex stuff. Yep, read that in the last one. In this exercise, you learn one tool at your disposal to create more complex data, an object literal. An object you create in this way can have its own properties and can be assigned to a single variable. Create a file called construction. Okay. So, if I haven't worked with object literals too much, but if what I have done serves me true. Oh, whoops. Pasted the whole code in the name. Construction.js. Basically, we're going to make an object similar to what we did with classes. It's going to be an object of just better, more dynamic, more powerful data, if that makes sense. So like in this person object, or in this, we're going to assign person a bunch of stuff, essentially. I think. So let's see what we got here. Following lines of code are not required. Okay, some person. Construct Kevin. Okay, name is some person. Name. Duration is should be 1000. Okay. So what does it have to return? 4 properties. All strings. This will be the first argument you pass in your construct function. Okay, so name material assemble duration. Start with that. Name material. No, not materializer. Material. What else do we need? Assemble and duration. Assemble. News team, assemble. And duration. Whoops. So name is gonna be name. What gets passed in from here, so we Kevin, right? Oh, use a comma. Not bad. Material, what's material supposed to be? Human. Kevin is a human, so that's good. Okay, what's assemble gonna be? Assemble is a boolean, so we'll do true. And what is duration? I'm assuming it's a number. Number 1000. Alright, so if we save this, so this is what an object literal is. It's literally an object. So we assigned, instead of having person equals, or instead of, excuse me, it's almost like, how should I explain this? It's like a nested variable. And that's a bad way to say it. But instead of having like all this stuff on the outside, you can organize it into one big group, a person group almost, and then you can have these things inside of the person group. Instead of having like name be Kevin, and then have another like name 1 be Steve, name 2 be John, you can have a person group and then just pass in those names with this construct function. You only need to write it once. So let's see if this works. Can I just drag this up? Yeah. So if we go node construction to run this, name is Kevin, duration is 1000. Nice. We could even add another one here. I'm getting cocky. If we wanted to do material is, and then it would be material, and that would be human. Human material. We are material. I didn't do it. Oh, I didn't save it. That's why. There. Material is human. So his name is Kevin. His duration is 1000, and his material is human. You could probably do material first. So, oh, he's a human. His name is Kevin. Anyways, let's run this. Or let's hack this. Success. Boom, baby. Oh, look at that. It reappeared. The physicist is here. Hello, physicist. Wait, can you see me? You can see me? You did it. You restored my physical form. Here, please take my activation code for the north laser in the equipment room. I'll join you there shortly. I should probably ensure all my internal organs rematerialize properly first. Scary thought. That's a scary thought. Also, I could have sworn I was a few inches taller. Ha! I say that all the time. It's a short joke. Some people probably have never seen me stand up, but it doesn't take very long. Alright, use the activation code from the physicist. Okay, after you input the physics passcode, the display comes to life and you start to troubleshoot the systems connected to beam 4. It looks like this beam's targeting systems were damaged during this accident. To restart this beam, you'll need to implement a new targeting mechanism for the laser using JavaScript classes and object literals. Okay, create a file called... I can't do this for some reason. There we go. Targeting solution. In your code folder, inside this file, create a JavaScript class called targeting solution. Okay, this class will store targeting information for the laser and provide a formatted string containing the target coordinates. This class's constructor should take one argument, an object literal containing the precise X, Y, Z coordinates of the target within the 3D space of the lab. Your targeting solution constructor should store the following 3 properties as instance variables from the configuration object. Okay, we're getting into some complex stuff. In addition, your class must implement an instance function called target, which returns a formatted string containing the instance's target coordinates in the format XYZ, including the parens, spaces, and commas. Here is an example usage of the class you must create. Okay. Note that your target function must use the exact formatting and spacing as shown. Okay. As always, you can use as a starting point. As always, code you can use as a starting point can be in the help tab. Okay, let's make this file first. New file. Targeting solution. Loading. Okay. Don't know why that took so long. Let's minimize this for now. And let's look at what the help has to say. So, combining what we just did in the last 2 exercises for objects and classes in the north wing. So we're creating a class and then called targeting solution. So this is going to be a big class. Here's some code you can do to get started. So we're creating a class, and in that class we're going to have an object literal, which is this. When your function works as directed in the objective, click the hack button. Okay. So let's get this in there. So what do we need here? The following lines of code are not required. Yep. Okay, so const m is new targeting solution class, and then it should display all this stuff. Okay. So we're gonna create config. So what do we do in this class? We had target name. Okay. So I'm assuming we'll have to assign config to something. Maybe. Am I assuming too much? Um, this class will store targeting information for the laser. Okay. This class's constructor should take one argument, an object literal, containing the precise XYZ coordinates of the target within the 3D space. It should contain an object literal. So you should take one argument, just config, which would be all this stuff. And we're gonna make it an object literal. So, okay. What are we calling this? Okay. Should take one argument, an object literal containing the precise X, Y, and Z coordinates of the target within it. Okay, so it takes one argument, and that argument is gonna be we'll have to do like, do you reference object literals? So it'd be like, this config will have three values. It'll be like config.x, and then config.y, and then config.z. And then are we assigning all of these to one thing since it's a, yeah. Here's an example usage of the class you must create. So we'll say, so like in this one we did let person. I'm assuming we could do, well, we have to have a helper function. We could do let let as instance variables in the configuration object. In addition, your class must implement an instance function called target, which returns a formatted string. Okay, so we're just gonna do, can we do let target values equal, and we're gonna move these into here. Format that for me, please. No, not format that for me. What's wrong with this? Oh, what? But I'm making an object literal. Let target values equal. Okay, hold on. deleted my comma? Oh no, I didn't. And then we're gonna have a helper function. Helper function that's just gonna say target. Function, sorry. And it's gonna return target values. We're gonna say return. How did this one do it? Return some person dot name. This one's gonna be what if we just do target values? I just want to see what this does. Save this. So let's run node target teen solution.js. What did it give us? Target values is not defined. This dot target values. No. Can I do that? Do this dot target values? What did I do wrong? Oh, do I have to return? Turn target values. Seems awful weird. I guess I'm not doing it the right way anyways. Give me m.target is not a function. Should be m.target is not a function. Why isn't it? What did we do in this class one? Did m activated, materialize, targeting solution. M.target is not a function. What happens if I do this? Same thing. It's almost like it wasn't there. Whoops. That target is not a function. I return something here. Whoops. lower this so we can actually work. Okay. Guess if it returns, we don't want it to return. Target. Not what we want. What is going on? Structure config. Maybe we don't need this in there. Oh, definitely need that. Do we need to do this? Okay, let's see. Oh, wait. Is that what we want? Still, target is not a function. What am I missing here? Target is not a function. What does the objective say? For the following 3 variables. Yes. In addition, your class must implement an instance function called target. Doing that. Redoing functions. This dot target values. Why is target? That was why. Okay. So now we got the return. So we had to add this right there. I forgot the this. I told you this just gives me, this keyword gives me a hard time. Anyways, how do we need to, so now we have all of our stuff displaying. How do we need to display it? Just X, Y, Z. Putting parent spaces and commas. So, return. return params. So I think we want to do, so can we do target values? What if we do target values dot x? Will it just give us 10? Yeah. Okay. I got this. I don't know if this is the way they wanted us to do it. I'm gonna do this target value. Can we do multiple ones? We're gonna have parentheses plus this dot target value is x plus gamma. Oh, we need it to be a string. Gamma plus. Is this the best way? No, not at all. No way this is the best. Why? Plus. Is this even gonna work? Don't know. Comma, and then plus z, and then we need to end plus ending params. Think this will work? I think I need like a big quote all the way at the end. This. It's not what I need. Did not work. What about this one? Nope, still not what I need. Let's just see what happens here. Oh, thanks, prettier. That looks a lot better. Just gives me 10. Maybe the... Oh. I don't want parentheses here. Or semicolons here. Okay, so that just gave me 10. There we go. So now we have 10, 15, 19, but we don't have the spaces that we need, right? And we want it to look like this. So we need to add a space, 2 spaces. So let's add a space here and a space here. Boom. There we have it. Is that the expected output? 10, 15, 900. Yep. Okay. So what did we do? The this keyword hung us up again. Hung me up again, I should say. But we combined the last 2 exercises into this one. And we basically did, we made a class, a JavaScript class with a constructor that took 1 argument, which was config. And that would take an object of numbers. So we made an object literal and assigned x to x, y, and z to whatever these were. And then assign that to this dot target values. And then we ran what they called an instance function, but I think I called it a helper function in this first activity. And then we returned basically all of the values with a comma and a space separating them to get this. Let's see if we did it right. Feeling good about it. Hey, good job everybody. The laser uses your targeting solution class and emits a beam aimed at the center of the ductipium crystal. It looks like this laser is back online. Look at that. It's back online. Oh no, we still got one more. I'm already over an hour, but I'm going to see what this is. I'm just looking at this. Okay, yeah, we'll do this one next time. This looks pretty long. Looks fun though. We need to mess with colors. Looks like we get to make different colors. Interesting. We're gonna have lots of, we're gonna have a class, a refract method, a calibrate method. Oof, it's gonna be a big one. What does the help give us? Not much. So you gotta do a class again. Okay. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it a stream, end the video. Like I said, thanks for hanging in there with me. Also tried to stream this on Instagram, didn't work the best. So, sorry about that. Took about 5 minutes at the beginning, but we got through it. I hope you guys learned from my mistakes, and I will see you in the next one.